Hi everyone, I am here with a Bible reading. I hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to be reading Mark chapter 14, verses 1 through 21, Psalm 51, and Proverbs chapter 10, verses 31 and 32. In the New International Version. So now let's get down there to Mark and see what we're going to be reading. Jesus anointed at Bethany and the Last Supper. That's what we're talking about in Mark today. We're reading about. Alright, let's begin with it. Now the Passover and the festival of unleavened bread were only 2 days away, and the chief priests and the teachers of the law were scheming to arrest Jesus secretly and kill him. But not during the festival, they said, for the people may riot. While he was in Bethany, reclining at the table in the home of Simon the leper, a woman came with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume made of pure nard. I don't know what that is, do you? I have to look that up. She broke the jar and poured the perfume on his head, on Jesus' head. Some of those present were saying indignantly to one another, "Why this waste of perfume? It could have been sold for more than a year's wages, and the money given to the poor." And they rebuked her harshly. Can you imagine? Perfume being worth a whole year's wages? "Leave her alone," said Jesus. "Why are you bothering her? She has done a beautiful thing to me. The poor you will always have with you, and you can help them any time you want. But you will not always have me. She did what she could. She poured perfume on my body beforehand to prepare for my burial. Truly I tell you, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." Then Judas Iscariot, the one who would later betray Jesus, one of the 12, went to the chief priests to betray Jesus to them. He's doing it now. They were delighted to hear this and promised to give him money. So he watched for an opportunity to hand him over. On the first day of the festival of unleavened bread, when it was customary to sacrifice the Passover lamb, Jesus' disciples asked him, "Where do you want us to go to make preparations for you to eat the Passover?" So he sent 2 of his disciples, telling them, "Go into the city, and a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him. Say to the owner of the house he enters, 'The teacher asks, where is my guest room where I may eat the Passover with my disciples? He will show you a large room upstairs, furnished and ready. Make preparations for us there.' The disciples left, went into the city, and found things just as Jesus had told them, so they prepared the Passover. When evening came, Jesus arrived with the 12. While they were reclining at the table eating, he said, 'Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me, one who is eating with me.' They were saddened, and one by one they said to him, 'Surely you don't mean me.' 'It is one of the 12, he replied, "one who dips bread into the bowl with me. The Son of Man will go just as it is written about him. But woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born." And you know what happened to Judas on earth after he betrayed Jesus, right? He went and took the money back and tried to give the money back to them, to the teachers of the law that paid him to, give up Jesus. And they wouldn't take it because it was blood money. So he threw it at them. And they bought a field with it called the Potter's Field, which means the field of blood. And it's still called that to this very day, the field of blood. That was bought with the money that Judas used to betray Jesus. And then Judas went and hung himself. He went to a tree and hung himself, and his bowels and everything were spilling out of him, and the birds were like feasting on his flesh. But yeah, he hung himself. So, but that's only his earth. That's only what happened to him on earth. You know his soul. What Jesus said, the Son of Man will go just as it is written about him, but woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born. So, his soul's still going to be judged, like everybody's, but you already know it's not going to be good for him. All right. Psalm 51 today. For the director of music, a psalm of David, when the prophet Nathan came to him after David had committed adultery with Bathsheba. Now, Nathan was a prophet. And he would come to David. David was the king. He'd come to David a lot, telling him things the Lord said and so on. And other people. Well, Bathsheba was married to a man named Uriah, and he was in David's army. And they lived pretty much close to each other, because one day David saw Bathsheba in her window bathing or changing or something, and he wanted to have her. He thought she was beautiful, and anyway, they ended up seeing each other, sleeping with each other, and she got pregnant. Remember, she's still married to Uriah. So David was like, we got to get Uriah back here to sleep with his wife so he'll think that that baby's his. So remember, Uriah was in his army, so people came back from the army for a while, and he told Uriah to go home to his wife several times, but Uriah would not. He stayed guard at David's castle doing his job. So that didn't work. So David had to come up with another plan. And David told the leader of the army to put Uriah in the front so he would be sure and be killed. And it happened just like that. He was killed in the army. He was put in front and was killed. So then David married Bathsheba. And to punish David for doing that to Uriah and doing that with Bathsheba, God had that child. That child was dead. That child did not live. And it was a son, I believe. It did not live. So, now you know what it's about when we get into it here. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion. Blot out my transgressions, wash away all my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you only have I sinned, and done what is evil in your sight. This is David pleading to the Lord. So you are right in your verdict, and justified when you judge. Surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. Yet you desired faithfulness even in the womb. You taught me wisdom in that secret place. Cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all my iniquity. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me from your presence, or take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. Then I will teach transgressors your ways, so that sinners will turn back to you. Deliver me from the guilt of bloodshed, O God, you who are God my Savior, and my tongue will sing of your righteousness. Open my lips, Lord, and my mouth will declare your praise. You do not delight in sacrifice, or I would bring it. You do not take pleasure in burnt offerings. My sacrifice, O God, is a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. You, God, will not despise. May it please you to prosper Zion, to build up the walls of Jerusalem. Then you will delight in the sacrifices of the righteous, and burnt offerings offered whole. Then bulls will be offered on your altar. And that was Psalm 51. David pleading with the Lord, for forgiveness. Of course, God forgave him. And they later had, children. One of their children was Solomon, who became king after David. That was David and Bathsheba's son together. King Solomon, the wise king. Alright, so now let's read Proverbs chapter 10, verses 31 and 32. From the mouth of the righteous comes the fruit of wisdom, but a perverse tongue will be silenced. The lips of the righteous know what finds favor, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. Alright guys, I'm going to get our prayer requests out here. Okay, please keep the following people in prayer. My mom, Rhonda Karshner. She's still hurting in her knee, and they might have to, her doctor's just waiting on her to say the word to bring in for her to go to the bone doctor, because she'll probably have to have surgery on it again. She's already had surgery on that knee years ago, so I don't know if they'll want to just do the same surgery or if they'll want to replace the whole knee this time. I'm guessing they'll want to do a whole knee replacement. And that's going to be really hard for her. Please keep Sherman in your prayers. He's been having a lot of pain in his temple, and the side of his face is swollen. I don't know what's going on, but he has a doctor's appointment tomorrow, but it's on the phone. But he will be talking to the doctor tomorrow. Please pray for Layla and Emil. Please pray hard for Layla right now. She's got a lot of health problems going on, so she really needs a lot of prayer. Please pray for Elizabeth Jeffries, Judy Thompson, Jimmy Myers. That's our nephew Jimmy. He had to go for a CAT scan today, on his head and everything. And then he goes to get the results on the 12th on our anniversary. So, I don't know. They should have got the CAT scan by now. It's after 5 o'clock. I told Mom to let me know, but she probably won't call till tomorrow, or won't let me know till the 12th. I'm not sure, but when I get any updates, I'll let you know. Please pray for Cindy Welsh. Still having the Charlie horses really bad. All the time. It's like they're never going to go away. Joyce Light and Latham Burns. Alright. Now our verses here we've been practicing. I'm going to see if Sherm remembers the smallest one that he knew the other day. Gotta keep on, you people. And myself. Can't let you forget it. Once you know it, gotta keep after you so you don't forget it. Psalm 42:1. I'll give you a deer.
That's the deer pants.
Water.
For the water. My soul pants for you, Lord.
That's pretty much the same thing. As the deer pants for the streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. That's good. Good. Okay, Psalm 84:10. Better is one day. You know that one? Better is one day. Better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be the doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of the wicked. And last but not least, Psalm 27:4. You know that one? One thing I ask of the Lord. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. These are all Psalms, I know. Of course, I'd be writing down verses for us to memorize in Psalms because I love the Psalms. All right, guys. So that is everything for our Bible reading today. I hope it touched your hearts. I hope you guys had a great rest of your day. It's really nice and pretty out today. We got the curtain and the window open. It's like 60 or 65 degrees. It's really nice today. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye, guys. God bless.